Every morning, you wake up with two choices: stay in bed and dream, or wake up and chase the dream. And here's the truth. Most people spend their lives hitting the snooze button, not just on their alarm clocks, but on their potential. What if I told you that the next 10 minutes could change the next 10 years of your life? Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But stay with me, because this isn't just motivation. It's a manual for reclaiming your life from procrastination, fear, and wasted time. Today, we're diving into what separates people who wish from people who win. Let's get brutally honest for a moment. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and said, "Enough, I'm done wasting time"? Be real with yourself. Days are slipping through your fingers like sand, quietly, constantly, without mercy. You blink and it's Monday again, you blink again, and a decade has passed. And the scariest part, you don't remember where all that time went. Time and health are two precious assets that we don't recognize and appreciate until they have been depleted. The truth: every morning, life gives you a blank check called today. You can spend it on excuses or invest it in your growth. Let me guess. You've told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," right? Well, I checked. Tomorrow's not on the calendar. I believe something powerful. That success is not an event. It's a process of conditioning your mind to believe in your potential. You see, success starts long before you see it. It begins in your thoughts. If your inner voice says, "I'm too old, it's too late," or "I've tried before," you've already built a mental prison. I call this the winner's edge. It's not IQ. It's not talent. It's attitude. The difference between average and extraordinary is often one decision: the decision to believe again. But before we go further, I want you to imagine this. You wake up 5 years from now, and your life looks exactly the same as it does today. Same job, same stress, same unfulfilled potential. How would that feel? Now hold that image, because in 60 seconds I'll tell you how to make sure that never happens. Every morning, your brain is most impressionable. What you feed it shapes your entire day. If the first thing you see is bad news, bills, and negativity, your mind starts the day defensive. But if the first thing you see is possibility, your brain starts the day creative, focused, alive. That's why champions, from athletes to CEOs, use their mornings to program success. I called this the psychology of winning, because winning begins in the mind long before it happens in reality. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your training. And every morning is your training ground. Let me ask you something. If your thoughts were broadcast on a screen every morning, would you be proud of what you saw? Or would you quickly grab the remote and hit mute? Comfort is seductive. It whispers, "You've earned a break." It says, "You'll do it tomorrow." But comfort is the slow poison of potential. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's hard. Listen, losers make promises they often break. Winners make commitments they always keep. So the next time you feel tired, the next time that voice says, "Not today," remember this: your future is watching, and it's asking one question: will you show up today? Because in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to tell you the simple mental shift that transformed ordinary people into legends. People who refused to quit no matter how late in life they started. There's a story I love to tell. He once coached Olympic athletes, people under enormous pressure to perform. One runner had talent, but no confidence. He kept saying, "I don't think I can win." So I told him, "Stop saying that. Visualize victory. Run the race in your mind first." The athlete listened. Every morning, he'd sit quietly, close his eyes, and see himself crossing the finish line first. Over and over, he rehearsed success. Months later, he won. Not because his legs got faster, but because his mind stopped losing. That's the power of visualization, repetition, belief. When your mind sees success, your body follows. Think of your mind like a GPS. You can't reach your destination until you enter it. If you start your day saying, "I'll never get out of debt. I'll never lose this weight. I'll never change," your mind locks that as your destination. And guess what? It's never wrong. You become what you think about most of the time. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your internal dialogue. Say this: "I'm not stuck. I'm preparing for my next level. I'm not too old. I'm seasoned. I'm not behind. I'm just getting started. And if anyone tells you you're too old to chase your dreams, remind them that Colonel Sanders was 65 when he sold his first chicken recipe. So unless you're over 65 and allergic to ambition, you're right on time. Let's be real for a second. Procrastination is a liar. It promises comfort today, but collects interest in regret tomorrow. Every time you say later, you're writing a check your future self has to cash. And trust me, the balance runs out fast. Think about this. If you just gave yourself one focused hour every morning, 1 hour of action, you'd transform your life faster than most people do in a year. The reason most people never reach their goals is because they don't define them, or even seriously consider them as believable or achievable. So don't just wish for change, schedule it, build it into your mornings like oxygen. You don't have to change your whole life in one morning. You just have to start small. I believe in the compound effect, small daily improvements that stack over time. Here's how you begin. First minute, breathe, focus. Visualize the person you want to become. Second minute, speak it. Say out loud, one goal for the day, something real, something measurable. Third minute, move. Take one small action. Make that call. Write that email. Take that walk, and repeat tomorrow. And the next day, because consistency beats intensity every time. You know what most people do? They wait for motivation to start, but that's backwards. Action creates motivation. Do one push up, and your brain says, let's do another. Write one sentence, and suddenly you're on a roll. Take one step forward, and your mind says, let's keep going. You don't need to be motivated to act. You need to act to be motivated. So here's my question. If you started right now, what would your life look like in 90 days? Think about it seriously. What if you didn't quit this time? Look, life isn't waiting for you, and neither is your potential. There's no right time. There's only now. You've already survived your worst days. You've already overcome what once scared you. So what's stopping you now? Fear, doubt, or maybe comfort? Remember, you must look within for value, but must look beyond for perspective. You are not too late. You are not too tired. You are not done. You are in progress. And progress is the most beautiful, powerful, unstoppable force on earth. Here's something to remember. The universe doesn't respond to doubt. It responds to belief. Every morning, you wake up and choose discipline over distraction, focus over fear, purpose over procrastination. You're rewriting your destiny. It doesn't matter where you started. It matters that you start. And if you do it long enough, you'll wake up one morning and realize the life you once dreamed of is now the life you're living. Crazy, right? You'll look back and say, whoa, I almost gave up before it got good. But that's how it works. The breakthrough always comes right after the breakdown. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm rings, don't hit snooze, hit reset. Say this to yourself today. I choose growth. Today, I choose courage. Today, I show up. Because success doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the consistent. And when you do that, day after day, you'll find yourself living what I call the winner's life. A life not of chance, but of choice. Every morning is a new opportunity to decide who you'll become. Not someday. Not later, now. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. You don't need the approval of the world. You just need the belief that your best days are still ahead. And they always are.